Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to be giving you a sort of beginner, maybe mid-level even, tutorial on how to play Orcane. I plan to do these for all the characters at some point, and I felt like Orcane was a good starting point. And the way I'm going to structure these is by talking about the strengths and weaknesses of the character, how to use all of their tools, how to play neutral, the basic combos on all types of different DI, recovery mix-ups, and then finally kill confirms. So yeah, let's get started. I think Orcane is a really solid character, one of the most developed characters in the game, I would say. His strengths involve having a really great grounded neutral, really good at tech chasing, really good at grounded defensive options, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later. He has a really safe neutral, or he can be safe in neutral, and he has great movement tools. So to touch base on a little bit of those right now, I would say his grounded neutral is great because of his fast acting moves and with disjoint like back air and down tilt, and he has burst options such as dash attack, which are only supplemented by his slippery movement as well. As well as his good wave dash length. His weaknesses include being juggled easily. His recovery is really hit or miss, and what I mean by that is that if you don't know, you can place a puddle anywhere on the stage with Orcane, and you can up-B to that puddle, which theoretically provides an amazing recovery tool if someone's trying to edgeguard you, or let me be a little more practical, based on where their Zeta burn is. If he's edgeguarding me over here, you can up-B. But if you're playing neutral properly and, things are going, you want to use your puddle in an effective way, it's not always going to be in that position. So it's really hit or miss depending on where your puddle is and what resources you have. And then also his third weakness that I want to highlight is that he doesn't have many kill confirms. The kill confirms he has are great, but they're almost never true. So you will often see Orcanes fish for kills with their really fast down strong, or a puddle empowered forward strong or up strong. With that being said, I wanted to start talking about how to use all of his tools, so you can get an idea of what moves to use when, and how to use them very effectively. So first off is his neutral B. It's his projectile. He can also drop a puddle with his aerial down B, but his neutral special is really great. It's hard to parry up close at this range, so it's useful in neutral to kind of combo into. Say Zeta burns over here mid stage, I can start a tech chase just by throwing out my neutral special, and even if they do get a parry on it, the way that parrying projectiles works in Rivals is that the move will just get sent back to you, and so you don't go into parry stun. So it's really good in that way too. And at mid percents, you can combo into it, kind of like cheeky combos. It works in a lot of cases where the opponent DI's in. Oh yeah, I should send this DI in. See if we can get it to work out for us. DI in. Oh. And then you can send them off with a strong attack, especially your down strong. And so that kind of combo can work at high percents. And so overall, it just sets you up for a good hitbox, and you can place your puddle anywhere you want with it. Good positioning tool. The next move I want to talk about is down tilt. Let me get him reset. Down tilt is one of the best down tilts in the game. It's fast, has great range, and low end lag. So fast startup, low end lag, great range will mean it's a good move in general. It can pop your opponent up perfectly for like kill confirms, which we'll get into more later, but down tilt to up air is a very common one. And even at low percents, it's going to provide you for mid-range combo starter that can chain into itself if not DI'd well, as you can see. But even on like normal DI, you'll be able to chain down tilts together for a while and get low percent to rack up pretty quickly. Next is his back air. Also, it's more more for spacing, since you can't get it out as fast as down tilt. But it's still in and of itself, you know, it has pretty low end lag for the size of the move. And it also carries your momentum in the air, so you can chase off stage with it really well. It's kind of like it helps you float in the air for a second with a nice hitbox. So back air will be used in the same way. It's your go-to aerial in neutral, and it can help you set up kill confirms later as well. Dash attack, the other neutral tool you have, for a burst option, but it's also really good for tech chasing. So you can react really easily with the mixture of down tilt and dash attack, close range on your opponents. Fair is one of the movement tools I was talking about in his strengths. It's his go-to to get back to the stage really quickly. If you could get knocked off, you can always turn around with your neutral special and fair back on the stage. It's a great mix-up too, to do a quick burst option that your opponent might not be ready for. It's hard to parry. It can be beaten out. It's not very disjointed, or maybe disjointed at all really in a meaningful way. But it's great for those reasons. And then lastly, his jab, I think, is, or lastly in terms of his most useful moves, I would say his jab is great. So if we look at the hitbox, it's like very disjointed, and considering Orcane's size, you could see why the hitbox is actually pretty big in comparison. So it's really nice. It's a great safe way to approach your opponent, since you don't go into parry stun if they parry you on your jab. His other moves are useful in their own situation, but not as much as the ones I just talked about, because all the moves we talked about so far are useful in neutral and like combos. However, up tilt is great up close, and at low percents will provide you like a free follow-up, because you can just up tilt twice, at least twice. Sometimes you can get more depending on the DI. Down air is great for, you know, like getting a move out that is a multi-hit on the ground and sets up for tech chasing, which is something that Orcane excels at. And then we have Nair, which can be comboed into from a lot of his moves as well. It's just that if they don't DI in on Nair, then you're not going to get any follow-ups. Nair is a quick way to get out of a combo if you're a good player playing against an Orcane. You can tech or DI out, hopefully you tech on a platform so it's hard for the Orcane to follow up as well. So keep in mind that it's really good if your opponent is going to DI in, which is a lot of cases because they're scared. So keep it in mind. Up air is great for like sharking people and like comboing for a kill confirm, but otherwise it's not a super great up air. It's not spammable. It does have a spike hitbox. That's something to note. That's how you can use it as well. Let's say you hit them off stage, you can spike them. Often they will be able to tech or live because it doesn't have that much knockback, but there are situations where it's really useful. Something I want to talk about going back to Nair is that you can Nair bounce, which is an amazing tool that was added to given to Orcane recently. Nair bouncing is just what you see. It doesn't reset like your air dodge. I don't have another double jump. If I air dodge, I don't get my air dodge back from Nair bouncing. But it's just a mix-up in neutral, and it can provide you a way to get a double hit of Nair, like that. So it's a really cool move. And then F-tilt is a get off me. It's a really good get off me, or a push off stage to set up an edge guard. It's just, that's kind of the extent of its use outside of like custom combos with using the puddle. Something like that. Of course he teched into it, but you get the idea. And now his specials. Down B sets off bubbles, which is useful for neutral whenever you're going to or whenever you're expecting your opponent to run in, or you see them in the air. They can't parry in the air. So that's really about it. And I guess also it's useful whenever you are edgeguarding someone. For them to get back on the stage, they have to get through a wall of bubbles, which gives you time to get one of your kill moves out, like your up air or your back air. It can be used in the air. As I said earlier, if you're knocked off stage, you're facing this way, you can B turnaround or B reverse your down special, like that, and then double jump fair to get back on the stage. It gives you high and low recovery options. And then up B, the most important thing to know about up B is that you don't have to go to the puddle. You can actually take your momentum. It's called orca hopping. It's in the tutorial if you don't know. If you double jump and then use your up B when the puddle is out, you'll just go to the puddle. But when it's not out, you'll fly up. And so it's a good mix-up option when recovering, like this. Your opponent might not be ready for it, because you shoot up really quickly. You can also do the puddleless recovery by pressing up B and your air dodge at the same time. So it's another mix-up. It's like a fake out. They might react to the sound but not realize that you're not going over there. And so that's how to use each of his moves. I've kind of touched base on how to play neutral with each of them, but in general, there's a couple of steps that you always want, or a couple of things you always want to do. Or really one thing you always want to do when playing neutral with Orcane, and is making sure that you have a puddle somewhere. At low percents, I like to put my puddle on the ground so I can combo into it. If I can hit him into the puddle, and with down B it racks up percent. At high to mid percents, I like to put my puddle on platforms so that I can combo into it easier, into up B if I want to. But realistically, or like, you don't have to do that. It's just as effective on the ground. In fact, it's really useful on the ground because if they're at high percent and you really need to fish for a kill, like I was talking about, because you can't land any of your other moves, you can get empowered strong attacks with your puddle. They're not faster and they're not stronger, but they're bigger. So this is without the puddle, and this is with. So place your puddle first and foremost, and if you're going to be aggro, you have aggro tools with RAR, which is reverse aerial rush back air. You have Nair if you wanted to be that, or you can do dash attack. You can be aggressive with the character, especially because the opponent has to respect your back air. They have to respect your back air, which means they won't be able to just stuff you out. They won't feel confident about just being able to stuff you out. And the other way to play in neutral with Orcane is by kind of playing a little bit zoney, really threatening your puddle, waiting for them to make the first move, spacing out with your back air. This is really, honestly, like a really great way to force your opponent in and make them feel pressured. You even have bubbles that you can use. I didn't talk about that before, but your fair is great for like controlling space with your hitbox with those bubbles, since they last for a while. And so you have that as well. And then that's basically your main two steps. You want to place your puddle, and depending on where it is, you want to play around it. If they're past your puddle, then it's a good idea to reset. Maybe you want to use your neutral B to put it out in front of you again. Because optimally, you have your puddle in a place that is in a good spot to recover if you get a hit off stage, but also in a good spot to pressure your opponent to not get a free advance or an approach towards you. Some basic combos are chaining the moves that combo together really well, such as down tilt, up tilt, Nair on DIN, and of course your jab. So you can really be really creative with Orcane, including with your puddle. You have a lot of room for custom combos. It's just honestly chaining a lot of down tilt, Nair, and up tilt, and tech chasing. You really have to learn how to tech chase with Orcane. You can cover options with jab, and then react to where they go, and that's really where he thrives, is his grounded tech chasing and neutral game. If I would say in general, mid-range starter is down tilt, and then your close range starter is jab and up tilt. And that leads us, well, I'll just skip straight to kill confirms right now since I was already showing it off. You can get a lot of great kill confirms when you're pushing your opponent off stage because they want to DI in. So in these kinds of situations, your opponent doesn't want to fly off stage from a down tilt, so you may get you may see them fly straight up. In which case you get an up strong, or you can get an up air. Another thing is that you can chain back airs together and get a kill like that. Or you can hit fall your back airs on DI in and eventually get an up air once they rise up high enough for the up air to kill. Just like that. It's pretty easy to say DI out, but when you're scared of the sweet spot hitting you and you DIing out in the sweet spot of back air, you'll find that everyone at one point or another will DI in. And so hit falling is really important with this character, just for back air alone. Definitely a reliable kill confirm. And then lastly, I want to talk about recovery mix-ups. So we already talked about having a puddle on the stage, and you want to side B to the wall. The main goal for every rival is to get to the wall with as many of your resources as you can. So that is most likely your double jump and your air dodge. It could differ for like more character specific tools like a bubble with Rana or something, but for Orcane, it's getting to the wall as fast as you can without using your double jump or your air dodge. You can do this because if you get sent flying, you can puddle and you can puddle down, fair to the wall jump, double jump, back air, or whatever you want to do, and land on the stage. So you have the basic recovery mix-up of double jump aerial, like that. You have kind of your ledge dash in Rivals, which is just a quick double jump and air dodge on like that. And you can use Orcane's really strong really quick down strong, which is frame 7, to kind of catch your opponent off guard. Like, that looked really fast, right? You're gonna get that hitbox out, and if they're not ready, they're gonna be sent flying. You also have Orca hopping. Like I said earlier, it's double jumping and then instantly pressing up B to get a lot of height. And if you have a puddle on the stage, you can hold the trigger. Oop, messed up there. You can hold the trigger whenever you do your up B, and you won't fly over to your puddle. And those are the main options. That's why his recovery isn't super great. It's kind of exploitable in a lot of ways. He doesn't have a great hitbox that hits above him. So if someone was to pressure him whenever he's trying to rise up from the wall, he can really get himself gimped. But that's where the mix-up comes in, of using your puddle to up B. Something like that. I want to actually go back to kill confirms real quick, touch on that a bit more. You can use one hit of down strong, and it'll pop them in the air, and they can't tech the first hit. So you can use that to kill confirm as well, if they're at high enough percent. I mentioned you can combo from the neutral special. It's a great way to get a kill, especially if they're trying to recover. So let me knock him off stage, see if I can get him to recover a little bit low. Something like that. Let me put him down to this percent. Knock him down a little bit. No, I can't get him. Maybe now. That's what I was talking about. You can hit people with your neutral special off stage, and sometimes combo the forward strong into it. So that's like a cheeky little kill confirm you can work on. It's just your neutral special. It's great to remember how safe it is and how low risk it is to throw out. Otherwise, you're going to be fishing a lot. You're going to be fishing for down strong since it's so fast, and people can DI it poorly easily and end up dying for it. You're going to be throwing out forward strongs, no strongs, but if you can land those down tilt up airs or that down tilt up strongs, then by all means, like, throw them out and see if you can get that early kill, because those are what Orcane thrives on, honestly. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, learned a little bit about Orcane, maybe learned a little bit about how to play against him, or got a little bit of info on just how he works. If you're watching this here on the stream, then you can sub to my YouTube channel, FullStream, and I'll be posting more videos like this that are helpful in case you missed them on the stream. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then I have the link to my Twitch stream down in the description below. Feel free to come by and watch these things live, and also all the other things that I do that don't get uploaded to YouTube. And that'll be it. Thanks.